This example is going to show how we can accurately place aligned holes between parts in the assembly. As I turn off this engine gear cover, just to draw your attention, we've got a component here that we're going to be mated to. It's got some existing holes, and what I want to do is I want to create holes in the cover that line up with those holes right away. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this, and ST6 has made a couple of enhancements to guide us with that. So the first example is as I edit into this part, one thing you can do is you could, under your tools menu, turn on the peers option, and while this particular command is not new, there are some new functions to it for ST6. So if I turn on peers, one thing you can do is transition over to ordered and generate ordered holes on your part. And just so we can see what's happening here in the background, let's turn off the shaded mode. But what you'll notice is I can now directly access the hole locations on other parts. So again, I just come in here and select all the center points very quickly, and just to ensure that I've aligned those. This eliminates the step that you had to do previously with having to include those hole locations first before going to your hole profile and connecting them. So again, that eliminates a step. So very quickly I've gone through and generated an ordered hole. Now if you're fine with having an ordered feature, in this case that's great and you're done. Or if you wanted to go through and move those holes up to synchronous mode, you can then move them up after the fact, and now you've got synchronous holes and they're aligned with the hole behind it. So that's one thing you can do now with ST6. Another option that you have, which I like even better, is to utilize some other functionality. So again, as we go back to this particular assembly, what I can do now is edit into this part, and instead of doing include or utilizing the peer option, I'm going to stay in synchronous mode. And what I can do after editing into that part is go straight to my extrude command, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the face that has those holes on it, and as I accept that, you'll notice one of the options here that I have selected is exclude internal loops, and I actually want to turn on internal loops, and that'll grab just the holes. Now it's also extruding. I want to cut, so if I hit spacebar, now I can cut where those hole locations are. Now what Solid Edge does is it just creates a cutout, but what I can do is I go to inspect, I hit recognize holes, and I can hit face selection, pick the face, hit OK, and now you'll see that it's recognized those as holes. So each of those has their own parameters. If I needed to go in and make any changes to those, I could. So if I want to change one or several of these holes to different type, I can do that, and just go through and make the changes in the typical hole dialog settings. If I wanted to break any of these out, I could separate them. So you'll notice I can click on any of the holes and separate them out as their own individual hole, so that they're not all changed simultaneously. But again, this is just a couple of quicker ways to align holes during placement in the assembly.